back to my channel. As you can see by the title down below, today is going to be a video on how I do my edges. I've been really wanting to upload a video for you guys on how I do my edges because it is something I get compliments on all the time. I'm going to try and make this video as simple as possible because I know there are a lot of girls or guys out there that are struggling when it comes to doing their edges. I just remember I used to get so frustrated when I was younger and I tried to do some edges, and it really does just take some practice is one thing that I can say. So just because you don't get it right the first time doesn't mean that you're never going to be able to do your edges, girl, because it took me a minute to do them. And the more that you do them, the more confident that you become, and you kind of find your own style of how you like your swoops and what ways work better. I like mine going this way from left to right. Sometimes people might do them right to left, and it sometimes just depends on what types of swoops that you're doing or what style of edges. But today in this video, I'm just going to show you the basic swoops, the basic little swoops. I can place a picture right here for you guys, just like this, just the basic little swoops. I'm going to show you guys how to do that today. So without further ado, we're just going to get right into this video. But first, if you guys are new here, welcome to my channel. I am Shania. Make sure you go down and hit that subscribe button below, and make sure you click on that bell notification right next to it so that you're notified when I post any new videos. It's time to get swooping. So the things that you guys are going to need for this video today are Eco Styling Gel. You do not have to use Eco Styling Gel. You use what works best for your hair. This just gives me the best swoops and the best outcome, so this is what I use. You could also use Murray's Pure Australian Beeswax. I use this sometimes too, on and off, whenever I just want to do something different or whatever. This works really, really good and has a really good hold. You're also going to need a edge brush. You can just use a toothbrush if you want to, but I just found this at my local beauty supply store. You can also get them off Amazon or any hair place online. Definitely make sure that it is one that has the comb at the end, just because you want that comb for a more precise swoop. Lastly, you're just gonna need any blow dryer that has a cool setting. Yes, honey, a blow dryer. This is going to be the key thing to doing these edges and having it come out so that nothing gets messed up. Gotta be slayed and laid, honey, gotta get slayed and laid. So I just went ahead and sprayed some water on my edges just so I can reactivate the gel, so I can kind of comb it back for you guys to really get the thorough process of how I do them. Just make sure though that you do dry your hair before doing your edges, just because when you have wet hair, water is actually what reactivates the gel or the edge control that you're using. So just make sure that when you pull down your edges where you're gonna swoop them or whatever, that they're completely dry. So the first thing that you're gonna see me do here is I'm just gonna take the comb part of my edge control brush, and I'm just gonna go ahead and start pulling out pieces that I want to swoop my edges. So we're just gonna go right in and make little parts where I want them to be swooped. I always do one right here in the front, and then I really just go around the perimeter of my head and pull out all the little baby hairs. I know it kind of be looking like a hot mess right now, but this is what it looks like after I'm done pulling out all of the pieces that I want. And I usually start with this front one here just so I have that one down and centered. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start showing you guys how I do this step by step. So I just went ahead and twisted the rest of this part of these edges back. And I'm gonna use a clip to just pin those to the side just to get out of the way of this front part right here that I wanna work on. So what I'm gonna do is I'm literally going to take the brush part of my edge control brush and just go right in and dip it in the product. I'm not gonna get too much, but I'm gonna get enough so that it moistens the hair and starts to really get like slicked down, and then I'll add more as I go if I need it. But this is how much I usually start with. All right, so I'm just gonna take my brush, go ahead and lay it down just like this, and I'm just gonna do smooth brushes like that. And I'm gonna take my middle finger and kind of like lay them down as I'm brushing. So I'm just gonna go ahead, kind of lay it, and you wanna like flick your wrist, and I hold mine like this in between my thumb and my pointer finger and kind of let it rest on my middle finger and my right hand, and just keep brushing it down until it's laid where you want it to. And the comb is gonna come in handy for like little pieces that you want to separate away from it. So any pieces you want to separate from it, just kind of move it away with the comb. But what you want to do is keep brushing, and then when you have the arc of the swoop, that's where you want to kind of put your finger. So you just want to do this, put your finger down and pull up. You see how that kind of just stayed there like that? It's because I had my finger placed down right there. But we're just gonna perfect it a little bit more, so we're just gonna pull it up again. And you kind of just keep doing it until you get the swoop that you want or the look that you want. And then you kind of just run your finger over it. You see how it's starting to create that look? That is what we want. So that is how I like my swoop. So now this is where the blow dryer comes in handy. After you're done completing every single swoop, you're gonna take your blow dryer, put it on the coolest setting, and blow dry the edges for about 10 to 15 seconds, and then feel over it, and it'll be hardened. And it will stay there until you reactivate the gel with water or any moisturizers. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take my blow dryer, turn it on the coolest setting, and then turn it on and just begin to blow dry for about 10 to 15 seconds. So I'm feeling this now, and it is nice and hardened, which is exactly what you want. So now you're gonna go ahead and do the same process wherever else you want your swoops. And I'm just gonna go ahead and show you all the swoops that I do, just so I can really get in depth with this with you guys, just so that you guys can see how I really complete my swoops. Go ahead and just dip that brush, make sure you get enough on there. And then I'm just gonna go right ahead and do my next swoop. As you can see, I am using my middle finger and guiding where that swoop is going while bringing the brush back. I'm gonna go ahead and take my comb just to define where I want that swoop and to get ready to do my next swoop. So I finally figured out what I wanted, and I just went ahead and grabbed my blow dryer, put it on that cool setting. Make sure it is the cool setting, because the warm setting is actually going to reactivate the gel as well. I noticed that it makes it really hot and sticky, and it gets to be a mess when you start using the warmer air. So make sure that when you use your blow dryer, it's on cool air. And then I'm just going to repeat the process all over again by dipping my brush, brushing down the hair, using my finger to guide it. You know what I'm talking about. I call this the swoop and flick, swoop, flick method. Girl, go ahead and flick that wrist, honey, so you can get them edges slayed and laid to the gods. All right, so I'm on the other side now, and I'm just gonna go ahead and show you guys like one more time in depth how I actually do it. So we're gonna dip our brush into the Eco Styling gel about this much. And now for my left side, I still use my right hand and just make sure that I'm using my middle finger to kind of lay those swoops down. I do hold it like a different way though. So I just kind of hold it like this. Let me just brush it down. Make sure we're getting all of it. And then using that middle finger and swooping up. And then I'm just gonna switch to my pointer finger just because it seems like it might be a little bit easier for me to do with that. You just kind of keep running over it with the brush and your finger until you get the desired swoop that you want. Kind of just checking to see if it's even. Just need to come up a little bit more. That'll be all right. I'm just gonna take my comb, make sure I pull down all of the extra hair that's right here on the side for my next swoop. Just like that. Really press it with your finger to make sure it's laying on your head so that when you use the blow dryer, it's not lifting. So I think I like that there. So I'm just gonna grab my blow dryer and I'm gonna put it on my cool setting, let it go for about 10-15 seconds again. I'm just gonna go ahead and finish up this last one for you guys and just go ahead and do the same thing that I've been doing. Just gonna go ahead and brush that down and use my pointer finger on this side to swoop it up. You can really use whatever finger is comfortable for you. I'm just more used to using my pointer finger and kind of making sure that you pull down and then upward where you want it to be snatched at. And like sometimes it helps when you use the comb and kind of pull down and then go like that, and it makes it more like defined, if you know what I mean. Like it defines where you actually want the swoop to go. So this one kind of like goes up a little at an angle, so we want to get it like that. So we want to just swoop it down and then bring it up at an angle, just like that. And I'm just gonna go ahead and grab my blow dryer because I like how that looks. Alright, so this is the final product, you guys. Yeah, so thank you guys for watching this video. I really hope that it helped you guys kind of get a picture of how I do my edges. I really wanted it to be as simple as possible. Really, it does help if you just keep on practicing. Practice the techniques that you get down, how you need to hold your edge brush or your toothbrush, whichever you want to use, what products are really made for your edges and what things are going to work well for you. The Eco Styling Gel is something that I use, but you can use the beeswax. That does work as well on I believe I have 3C, kind of 3C for a hair. So that's just what works for me, but make sure you guys are really doing your research and trying to figure out what products could really work good for you. Try and watch some other YouTube videos as well. That's kind of what I did. And just make sure you are practicing, because practice really does make perfect. That is all for this video, guys. Thank you guys for watching so much. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to see any other hair videos on my channel, just make sure you leave some comments down below of what you guys would like, and I will be happy to do them. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay blessed.